Next simple machine we are going to learn about pulley. Okay, so have you seen water drawing from a well? When drawing water from a well, yes, the pulley, actually we are using pulley there to draw water easily from a well. So if suppose without any rope and that wheel, simply if you wanted to take water from a tank or well, we have to apply much force. It is not that easy, but when we use this pulley and rope, easily we can take the bucket of water from the well. Okay, a pulley is a simple machine made up of wheel and a rope. Pulley is a simple machine. It is made up of a wheel and a rope, isn't it? A wheel is there and inside and a rope is there. When we apply force this side, wheel will rotate and take the bucket of water, that load, up, isn't it? The rope fits into the wheel and one end of the rope is attached to the load. The one rope is fixed into the wheel. The other rope is attached to the load where bucket of water is there. Example, drawing water from a well. Well, you can see wheel is there. Rope also is there, fixed inside the wheel. One end of the rope is bucket, the load. When you pull on one side of the pulley, this side when we pull it, the wheel turns and the load moves. Pulley helps to move load up, then down and sideways. It makes the load work easy. In a pulley, an effort can be applied in one direction and a load can be moved in another direction. Pulley can do twice as much work with the same effort. That will be an example of drawing water from a well. We can use this pulley to take the load up. We can use the pulley to take the load down. We can move sideways and all. That is the main benefit or advantage of using pulleys. You can see the pulley image there, and you know crane. We use crane to lift heavy objects. We use crane to dump objects. We used to use crane to move objects sidewise also. Have you seen crane taking objects, moving objects here and there and taking and dumping everything? Yes. Then inclined plane. Next simple machine we are going to learn about is inclined plane. Inclined, slope we say, okay, inclined plane. Actually we used to move, using inclined plane we used to move objects to a higher place. Using a slope, we move it and we take it to a higher place. Ramp, slide and another example for this inclined plane. You have gone to park and you enjoy riding even seesaw, even this slide and ladder, isn't it? Ladder you climb, then you move from that slope from up to down. The slide and ladder. So it is an inclined plane we say. The slope, okay. Easily you can come down, isn't it? That is example for inclined plane. An inclined plane is simply a wrap or flat sloping surface. Actually it is a flat surface with one end is higher than the other. Actually inclined plane is a flat surface only, but one end is higher than the other. This is a slope we say. This is called inclined plane. Then one end is higher than the opposite side. Opposite end. This allows things to go from a lower place to higher place. Then it is used to move heavy load to a certain height. Suppose if you want to load full heavy box to a truck, what people do, you know, truck, van, backside of it they put some sloping like this and they take the heavy box and they roll it and they will load it into the van. Okay, so loading heavy drums or boxes to the truck. Less effort is needed to move the object with an inclined plane as compared to the steep slope. So very less force they need to move the object from down to higher surface. to move. We can move it easily. If it's a very heavy object, you can roll it through this sloping surface, roll, and you can take it to the higher surface. So this is the main principle working behind the inclined plane. To load heavy objects from lower surface to higher surface, we are using inclined plane. You can see the people on wheelchair. On steps it is not possible for them to move. So ramp is there for them. Easily they can go through that ramp, isn't it? People going through ramp. Ramp is an example for inclined plane. Some hospitals instead of steps, they have provided that ramp, isn't it? Even we can walk through it easily, and for people those who are on wheelchair also, easily they can go up and come down instead of climbing steps. Yes, that is inclined plane. Next is screw. Screw, you know, we use screw for many things, to screw many items, isn't it? Example, table. Table, it has 4 legs, 1, 2, 3, 4. This table, how it is, that legs, how it has been there, means holded there, means because of that screw. Using screw, we are fitting that legs of the table there. Like the tables are there available, not iron table, I am telling. The other tables, we use screw to attach it, isn't it? Door knobs and all, door attached, window attached to the wall. We have some screws there to attach these windows and doors to the wall. We use screw there, isn't it? Yes. A screw is a simple machine made up of another simple machine. It is an inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder. You can see the image of a screw there. A screw, something is wrapped around like this. It is an inclined plane, we say. Okay. Then it has ridges or threads. That is something that is wrapped around as threads. Then that change the direction of force applied. The circular motion helps to move things upward and downwards. A screw holds things together for a longer distance with a stronger grip. We can use screw to hold some things. To drill a hole, we need screw. To hold something, we can use the screw. Then we attach doors and windows of our rooms to walls with screws. A screw is used to lower and raise things to hold objects together. Have you seen in workshops, mechanics, how they attach the tire, or if tire get punctured, what they will do? The vehicle, car tire and all, using screw jack, they makes that vehicle up. Then the vehicle will be a little bit up, then they can do the work easily. So they use the screw system there to make the tire of the vehicle up. Then they easily remove the tire and they can do the work. So screw, we can use it to hold the objects. We can use it to raise the object. You can use it to drill holes in a wall to fit something. So for all these things, we use screw. Screw jack is also a simple machine which is used to lift up the side of a car or a bus while replacing its wheel or tire, to replace the tire and all. It is not possible for people or human beings or man to lift the bus or car by himself. So using the screw jack, we raise the one side of the car, isn't it, up. Then we can remove the tire and we can put the new tire. So that's which system is using the screw, they are using the screw jack, they are using there, isn't it? Yes, that is about screw. So children, next is about another simple machine, wheel and axle. Wheel and axle. Okay. A wheel and axle has two parts. Which are the two parts? Wheel, then axle. These are the two parts of wheel and axle. The axle is a rod that goes through the wheel. This is a rod that goes through the wheel. Okay? Axle is a rod that goes through the wheel. We can tell the example of steering of a car, a wheel of a bicycle. These are all examples of wheel and axle. In steering of a car, here there are axles, isn't it, which makes the wheels to rotate. same like wheel of bicycle. This lets the wheel turn. A wheel and axle helps to move objects. The faster the wheel is turned, faster the wheel spins. The axle is turned. When we turn the axle faster, wheel will rotate faster. The idea of wheel and axle was created when past societies like Egyptians used round rocks under heavy objects to move them. Long years back, Egyptians, how they used to move heavy objects, you know, they used to keep they use round rock under heavy objects. Heavy objects, if they want to move, they keep round wheels around the heavy objects. Under heavy objects they keep, and they used to move it. The two examples of wheels and axles are roller blades and gears in clocks. Roller blade, you know, skaters, you know, skater, roller skaters. Under the shoes we keep those wheels which makes the people to move faster. Skating, you have seen, no, skaters. Then gears in clock. In clock you can see the what is that? Hour hand is there, minute hand is there, isn't it? Second hand is there. So this axle makes this wheel, this thing to rotate, isn't it? So gears in clocks, in watches. Then they are machines because they help people to move faster. The hands of a clock move because of gears. The hands of the clock is moving. Why? Because of this gears. The round circles with ridges turn, acting like a wheel. The hands of clock are therefore, these hands of clock are therefore axles. Because of that it is rotating, and we are seeing the time, isn't it? Yeah. So roller bladers or skaters, roller skaters, and gears in watch, these are all examples of wheel and axle. Wheel of a bicycle, steering of a car, these are all examples of wheel and axle. Wheel and axle has two parts, wheel then axle. Then next is another simple machine is wedge. Main example of wedge we say axe, which we use to split the woods into two parts to cut the wood. We use axe. Axe is a simple machine. It is nothing but wedge, we say. Wedge, axe works on the principle of wedge. A wedge is a simple machine made up of two inclined planes put together. See the axe picture, the axe picture. Yes, axe. Here axe, we can see two inclined planes put together. Here we can see one inclined plane, here also one inclined plane put together, and we can see that axe, isn't it? So axe, wedge is a simple machine made up of two inclined planes put together. These two planes meet, they forms an edge. Wedges are used to push two objects apart or cut objects into two pieces. A big wood, if we apply axe, what happens? It splits into two. We use wedge to cut the objects into two parts. Then it can also hold object in place. We can use wedge to hold object. Fork, see the example of the wedge, fork. You can see the image of fork there. We can take some pieces and we can hold it, isn't it? So wedge also used to hold objects in a place. A wedge gets in between objects and split it apart, as example. An object like wood can split apart with a wedge. You probably use a wedge every day. A fork is considered as a wedge. It is made up of 4 to 5 wedges put together. Fork consists of 4 or 5 wedges together, and it can be used to cut or split food apart. We can split the food, we can cut the food, we can hold it. So there are many uses for fork. So wedge is a simple machine, has two inclined planes put together. Example, fork, axe. We use axe to cut wood, split into two parts, isn't it? So cutting or splitting the objects into two parts, holding the objects, we use wedge. We use with simple machine, we use wedge. Complex machines, I already told, bicycle is a complex machine because it is made up of many simple machines. Many parts of simple machine together forms a bicycle. So a complex machine is a combination of two or more simple machines that work together, such as when a lever and wheel and axle combine together to form a cart. You have seen cart pulling objects, isn't it? Cart actually does lever as well as wheel and axle. It has wheel and axle, lever also, that both we put together and we make the cart. A bicycle is an example of its complex machine because it involves the use of two wheels and axles. Here is some other example of complex machine. Clock is an example of complex machine. Aircraft or aeroplane is an example of complex machine. Sewing machine, tailor machine, where we use to stitch clothes, is an example of complex machines. Washing machine is an example of a complex machine. Drill machine. These are all examples of complex machines. Complex machine means it's a machine made up of two or more simple machines. Two or more simple machines together form a complex machines. Words to remember. Ridge. Ridge means what? A long, narrow hilltop, mountain range, we say. Wedge. A piece of wood or metal is a wedge, having one thick end. It is called a wedge. Wedge. Example is axe, we know, isn't it? So we learned about types of simple machines. Machines make our work so easier. It helps us to save our time, isn't it? And we can, it is very convenient for us to use machines. So there are different types of tools or simple machines we use in our day-to-day life. Knife, axe, scissors, these are all simple machines, we say. So there are 6 types of simple machines. We learned about lever. Lever, there are 3 parts: rod, fulcrum and effort. Example: seesaw, ice tongue, forceps, hammer. These are all examples of lever. First class lever, second class lever, we learned third class lever also. Then pulley. Example is drawing water from a well. It consists of a rope and a wheel, isn't it? And one side we apply force, other side rod is attached. It is used to take the object, lift the object, move the object sideways and put down the object. Example: crane. Then we learned about screw. Using screw we can hold objects, we can hold the objects, and also we can drill holes to fit some object. We use screw. We use screw to lift the object, isn't it? Screw is another simple machine that we use day-to-day life. To attach doors and windows on the walls, we use screw system. Then we learned about wheel and axle. It consists of wheel and axle. Example, we'll know about the skaters. Then bicycle wheel, steering of a car. These are all examples of wheel and axle, isn't it? Then we learn about wedge. We use axe to cut the wood into 2 parts. That is wedge actually. It consists of 2 inclined plane with a edge. Okay. So it used to hold objects. Example: fork. We can cut it into small. We use the wedge to cut objects into 2 parts. Fork and axe are examples of wedge that we use day-to-day life. Then we learned about complex machine. A machine which is made up of 2 or more simple machines. Bicycle, washing machine, then aeroplane, sewing machine. These are all examples of complex machines. Yes, so what are the main topics we learned today, children? About force. Any kind of push or pull is called a force. Different types of force we learned: muscular force, gravitational force, frictional force, elastic force, mechanical force, buoyant force, magnetic force. These are the types of forces. Then ability to do work is known as energy. To do work we need energy. The ability to do work is energy. A machine is a tool that we use to make our work easier and time saving. Machine makes our work so easier, and we can save our time if we use a machine for the work. Large work, heavy work we can do with machines. Lever, pulley, inclined plane, screw, wheel and axle and wedge are different types of simple machines that we use in day-to-day life to make our life easier, to make our work So fast, to say our time, isn't it? Life skills. Name any 6 things that are simple machines and use them daily. You have to name any simple machines that you use day to day life. Examples for that. You can say about scissors, then knife, nail cutters, staplers that you use for pinning the paper, isn't it? Stapler, trimming nails we use nail cutter, then scissors to cut the clothes or papers, etc. Knife to cut the vegetables or other things. These are the simple machines that we use in day-to-day life, isn't it? Think of another simple machines also. You use bicycle, so bicycle wheel and axle example. Then we can tell about slides, bottle opener, these are forceps, ice tongs. These are the day-to-day objects simple machines that we use day-to-day life. So you can write these examples. Okay, children?